everyone, welcome to Gobel Power, and this is Suki. Today we are going to dive into the most essential topic of energy storage system, that is communication. There are two ways of communication. One is the communication between the battery and the inverter, and another is the communication among the battery groups. Now here is the energy storage system. The inverter is communicating with the battery pack, and we can see through the display screen on the inverter. It shows the real-time status of the battery pack. You can check all the SOC, the voltage, and the inverter is monitor the battery charging and the discharging strategy. That is because the battery and the inverter already achieved the protocol docking. So we can see all the information about the battery through the display screen on the inverter. This function can help the inverter to monitor the real-time status of the battery and control the battery charging and the discharging strategy. This can prevent the battery from overcharging or deep discharging, which is harmful for the battery lifespan. And some users may ask whether the energy storage system still can work if the battery and the inverter couldn't achieve the protocol docking. And interestingly, the answer is yes. That is because the inverter also has another mode that is non-communication. Through this mode, the inverter also can transfer the electricity to your applicants without communicating with the battery. But the only problem is that through the display screen of the inverter, we couldn't see the data or the other information about the battery. And once the battery and the inverter have achieved the protocol docking, our users can select which brands of the inverter through the app on the phone of BMS. And the different suppliers, the BMS can connect with different. And the two most popular BMS on the market is JK BMS and PC BMS. Both of them can communicate with most of the mainstream brands of the inverter on the market. There are also advantages and disadvantages of the communication between the battery and the inverter. The advantage is that through the communication, the inverter can on time monitor the battery real-time status and will control the battery charging and the discharging strategy. But the disadvantage is that the communication may affect by the sound drift. This may affect the inverter, charge the battery incorrectly, and control the discharging and the charging strategy incorrectly. This may affect the whole energy storage system. And now here comes to the second communication, that is the battery group communication. Some users, they ask, when should I use the RS485 and the CAN protocol? These two protocols are special for the multiple battery communication. The battery and the batteries, each groups, they need to transfer the real-time data of each battery. Through the transfer data among each battery packs, it can prevent the situation of one battery is over discharging, but another battery is over this target. And once the inverter and the battery achieve the protocol docking, the users can select which brands of the inverter they use through the app. In conclusion, whether to choose communication is determined by the real-time application scenarios. In some systems, the communication may be the advantages of the communication is obvious, but in another cases, that is better not to communicate the battery with the inverter. It can reduce the complexity of the energy storage system and prevent the potential failure risk. So if you like this video and found this video helpful, please subscribe our video and like our video. And if you have your individual insights, please leave your comments on the comment section and see you next time.